Why do some people say Michael Jackson may still be alive? A mysterious man appeared 3 months after his death, speaking with a similar voice and possessing facial features that astonishingly overlap with Michael's.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Tonight, I have gathered you some TikToks that are going to change your entire reality. And I can promise you, you will not see life the same after you watch these videos. For the entire years that we've been alive, we've been fed lies, false stories, and there's been a lot of dark secrets that have been hidden right in front of us. But you know, that's what Sean's here for. I'm here to bring you guys the dark secrets, and we're going to look into them together. And for y'all in the comments who'll be like, Sean, these aren't even scary. Just wait, bro. Just wait. Just wait till the end of the video. And do not watch this alone, because this is going to get terrifying. What's even scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 60% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
These twin brothers sued Mark Zuckerberg for $65 million. Back in 2014, the Winklevoss brothers claimed that Mark Zuckerberg stole their idea for a social networking site, which later became Facebook. After winning the lawsuit, they received the $65 million settlement. With a portion of that money, they invested $11 million in Bitcoin when it was priced at $120 each. Today, those 91,666 Bitcoin would be worth over $3.8 billion, and they still own approximately 70,000 BTC. Would you rather have 70,000 Bitcoins or Facebook?
You know, I don't know how accurate this story is, but now that I think about it, you know, when I was born, I think I had a dream about McDonald's. So I think that actually I should be compensated for my dream because, you know, they just took my idea from me. So
following these celebrities is going to take most of y'all right to hell. I sat down and I watched that Travis Scott Astroworld documentary, and if y'all can't see that was a ritual, I don't know what's wrong with you. Mind you, I've heard so many different things about Travis Scott, but looking at that documentary, you got people actually saying this evil. You got the stage looking like an upside down cross. You got people falling out. You got the on the stage looking like a portal. You had shit looking like demons just coming out of it. And ask yourself, why do these famous people glorify demons? Why is that? I know somebody, and I ain't gonna put his name out there, but he said, yo, when he met Travis Scott, he like, yo, his energy was off. He like, yo, like, it was like a pure evil energy. Like, it was dark, real dark. He said it was so dark that he didn't even want to shake his hand. Like, and I say that to say, looking at that documentary, if y'all didn't notice what was going on when this shit was going on, something is wrong with y'all. These celebrities do not care about where you're going in the afterlife, but they are gonna take you somewhere. Y'all better pay attention to what these celebrities is doing, man, because a lot of them don't worship the God that you worship. And I'm gonna leave that shit where it's at. I'm gonna leave that where it's at. I'm out.
Morbid Facts, Part 352. Gordon Ramsay's father was a violent alcoholic who regularly abused he and his mother. One of his favorite things to do was to call Gordon a little boy because cooking was for poofs. He became so aggressive at times that Gordon and his mom often feared for their lives while at home.
I never really knew that Gordon Ramsay went through such a hard childhood. Like, unrelated from the serious story, y'all British people be having the funniest insults. Like, I don't know what it is, bro, but it's like, I can't take it seriously sometimes, I'm not gonna lie.
In 2017, a 9 weeks pregnant Brazilian woman suffered a stroke and was declared legally dead. Although doctors said the babies had no hope for survival, the brain-dead woman was kept alive for 123 days before delivering a healthy pair of twins. After growing up with a chronically bloated stomach, Sanju Bhagat went to the ER in 2006 with severe abdominal pain and difficulty breathing. Doctors were astonished to discover that the twin he must have absorbed in utero was still living in his abdomen and surviving off his blood supply. The half-formed twin had limbs, long fingernails, hair, and even genitalia. Doctors eventually removed the parasite and Bhagat made a full recovery.
Does the Illuminati use clones in Hollywood?
I think Diddy's list is Epstein's list, for sure. Because you have 2 billionaires from New York running around the same circles, right?
Yeah.
So you have these people that are wealthy, powerful, and they don't know each other. So what happened as soon as Diddy went down? Mike Jeffries gets indicted. The New York mayor, Eric Adams, gets indicted. Nobody's thinking about this, right? So you don't think he's telling? You don't think he's part of this? And Mike Jeffries, the former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, he was part of...
He got out.
He got out because he said he had dementia.
He was in the same jail, right?
Yes. And they said he has dementia, and now he's unfit for trial. That's bullshit, right? But Mike Jeffries is linked to Epstein because he was put in place by Lex Wexner, right? That owned Abercrombie & Fitch, L Brands. Now, L Brands, he owned a multitude of businesses. You know, he had Abercrombie & Fitch. He had Victoria's Secret. Now, who was his money manager and he left his estate to? None other than Jeffrey Epstein. Okay? So they're all running together. Like, and you don't think Diddy knows this?
You hear something really kind of weird?
I'm begging for it.
All right. There's a group of people that built an exact replica of the Ark of the Covenant. It took them 3 years to make. The chief architect chooses to remain anonymous. So they put the Torah, which is the Hebrew Bible, in the Ark of the Covenant. They just did that. And he said, quote, when that Torah was put in this Ark, it became weaponized. This was probably the strangest part of this whole story. Do you know where this replica of the Ark of the Covenant was for 8 months before they brought it to Israel?
Antarctica.
Trump's house, Mar-a-Lago.
No joke.
It was in Trump's house for 8 months before it was brought to Israel. Why was it there?
That is insane.
I don't know what to make of it.
In the past 8 months, it's been in Florida.
Yeah.
Hurricane.
We've had a pretty good year.
Except all the hurricanes. I truly don't care how anyone voted. Just looking at face value, that's strange.
Oh, that's 100%.
There are 7 mysterious places that scientists still cannot explain.
Interesting.
The first one, the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
You know what that is.
Yeah, but what goes on there? What's actually happening in the Bermuda Triangle?
No one knows that.
Do ships go in there and they disappear? Is that the thing?
The explanation I have for it is that ships and planes have vanished without a trace in this stretch of ocean.
I thought planes could fly over it, but planes too. I thought it was just boats.
No, they can fly over it. It just has happened in the past.
Okay.
And nobody knows why, and they can't find them or anything.
That's probably where Amelia Earhart's plane disappeared.
The next one is the Great Pyramids, which makes sense. It's still not clear how massive stones were moved with ancient tools.
This is like an alien thing. It's like the aliens built it. They must have. They had to have.
The third one is Stonehenge. Do you know what Stonehenge is?
That's the one where it's...
Yes. Giant stones aligned with astronomical precision, built by unknown methods.
Okay, but what's that mean?
I think somebody just put them up there. Yeah. Another one, the underwater city of Yonaguni.
That's Atlantis.
No, it's not. It's off the coast of Japan. It's a sunken stone structure resembling a lost city.
Underwater.
That
doesn't make any sense.
Well, Venice is going to be like that soon.
It will be.
Another one is the Moai statues of Easter Island.
I've heard of Easter Island. I don't know what it is.
Dum dum one gum gum. Hundreds of giant stone heads, some with bodies buried underground.
Yeah, see, and they reveal themselves over time.
The last two is one is the Nazca lines. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's enormous geoglyphs etched into Peruvian deserts, only visible from the sky.
What?
So it's like lines in the ground that make like patterns, but you can only see it from above.
Okay, so like you're flying over in a plane, you might be able to see it.
And the last one is the doorway to Aramumuru. It's a stone-carved gate in Peru, believed to be a portal to another world. That one I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't believe that one either.
But they threw that one in there.
Vladimir Putin is talking about releasing what actually happened on 9/11? But I thought we already knew what happened. I guess not. Vladimir Putin is talking about releasing information about 9/11. And I guess it's far worse than even the conspiracies we've heard about it. Oh, goody. Could it be worse, though? I guess so. But he's not just gonna stop there. Vladimir also wants to release information about our food chain supply. Okay. Apparently, our food could be a lot worse than we've ever thought so. Oh, goody. Is our food real? Is it not real? Now, apparently, the proof he has for both situations is undeniable, including satellite images of what actually transpired on 9/11. Oh, boy.
I mean, I feel like most of us already know what's going on with this situation, but, you know, I guess we'll see what he's got to say. And, you know, the truth is going to come out eventually. Is the truth going to be really nice to hear? Absolutely not. But is it what we need to hear? Absolutely.
Yo, they found another planet has life. This is the most evidence they've ever got.
Scientists have found the strongest evidence yet that a planet 124 light years away could be home to life.
It's 2 times bigger than Earth. It's very far from us, but it has this gas called DMS, and that gas is found on Earth in ocean. Oh. So that whole thing, they said, it's gonna be water. It's 2 times bigger than Earth. The shit they have there is probably like the Megalodon, like the real like
What's that? Oh, the recently released CIA document talks about paranormal psychic bending abilities with your mind. Tell me more! Yeah, there was one person in particular that the CIA was trying to follow, and he went on showing that he was able to bend spoons with his mind, but people didn't believe it, so they brought him in to do some study. So many of the people gathered around from the CIA and other people such as scientists and things of that nature trying to figure out if this is actually true. He came in super nervous and he didn't know if he was going to be able to do it because there were so many. Eventually, about half an hour went by, people started to leave the room and they thought this was just a hoax. Eventually, enough people left the room where he felt a little more comfortable. He then bent the spoon with his mind. The onlookers said they wanted to touch the spoon. As they grabbed it, they can feel electricity running through the spoon, as well as when they touched that person, it was running through him. They could feel the electricity. They scanned his brain and they saw that it was sending off an electromagnetic wave through his brain. They believe everyone has this ability. They just don't know how to tap into it and cause that electromagnetic pulse so that they can bend things with their mind. Oh, goody. What's that? Oh, a neuroscience experiment was done on some elderly folks that were deteriorating rapidly. And what happened from the experiment was a bit bonkers. Tell me more. Yeah, so this group of elderly folks were put into this house where they could only speak positive things to each other, themselves, as well as out to the world. Most of these guys didn't want to participate. They were old and grumpy and just felt like that their time was. However, what happened next was a bit So what they were trying to figure out was a few things to see if these elderly folks would get better cognitively, physically, and so on, and also to see with what they told their brain would believe. So lo and behold, they did this for about 2 weeks straight, and they didn't see a whole lot of track. This was until about the 3rd week where these elderly folks started to get much better cognitive. They were putting down their canes, they were putting down their, and they were moving in a way that they haven't moved like in years. So obviously what they figured out is that what these people told their brain, it came true. But even after this experiment was done and all these folks thought that their time was up before the experiments, they kept doing this with each other and met up frequently to do these activities and tell each other and be positive. To this day, the people that were involved in conducting this experiment can't explain how this actually works, but just know that it worked. Oh, fun.
This is not a conspiracy. This is scary. So in 2018, scientists discovered a black hole really, really far, like 16 million light years away. Something crazy. Whoa. Super far from us. They were watching it literally swallow a star. It was sucking a star in. The star was getting sucked into this black, so it was just like light streams going into this black hole. What they thought they knew of black holes, well, they don't know a lot, but it's just like stuff gets sucked into it because it's just this mad force of gravitational pull that just sucks everything in. But this year, they looked at the same black hole and it was spitting the star back out. So light and stuff was coming out of this black hole. Just so it was like regurgitating this star.
Just recycling it.
Like broken apart though. So it's like, what's on the other side of that black hole?
In dreams.
Okay.
In dreams, fam. What's one thing that dreams never get right?
Hands?
Hands. Everybody's dream, right? They say if you want to find out you're dreaming or not, the first thing you check are your hands. Because if you look at your hands, you look at your hands, and if they're misshapen or they have an extra finger or whatever, bro, that's when you know you're dreaming. Also, because I looked into it, because if you pretend to count fingers or try to count your fingers when you're in a dream, it will never be correct. You'll never get 5 on one hand and 5 on the other hand. It will never be right. Because it's just something the brain cannot comprehend when you're dreaming. It can't count fingers.
Have you ever looked down and had 6 fingers? You've had that?
Yeah, I had times. Also, there's a really weird one. If you ask somebody in your dream to count their hands.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah,
I think you're the one that told about me.
Yeah. So that's the same thing too. If you look at your fingers and then you look at somebody else's fingers trying to count it, It's not right.
What's that? Oh, there was a 911 call recently released about a guy calling in saying he is seeing some sort of a humanoid walking around his yard that's about 7 feet tall. Tell me more! Yeah, so he calls in and he's reporting this around 7 foot tall or taller humanoid, he says, that does not look like an actual human, but is standing upright like a human. He said it kept hiding and he kept trying to call out to see if it would pop back up, and it would hide again and it would pop back up, and so he'd get another visual of this thing, and then he decided to let his Saint Bernard dog out to go see if it would scare it off. Now, his Saint Bernard was about 220 pounds, and he let it out to go check on this thing, and he saw the humanoid stand up, grab his dog by one hand, 220-pound Saint Bernard, and started sprinting off with it like it was a feather. He later got in his truck and tried to search for his dog. He later did come across his animal turned inside out, is how he explained it. His dog, 220 pounds that was taken off with, was turned inside out. What?
I would hate to be the responding officer that night. Imagine someone said a 7-foot monster snatched up his dog and turned it inside out. I'm not showing up to the call. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go like become a lawyer or something, or become a nurse, because all I got is this tiny little taser. You think I'm about to take down a monster? This is not Stranger Things.
The irony behind there being a snowstorm, but like right before the snowstorm is supposed to happen, every single place that the snowstorm is supposed to hit has chemtrails in the sky. Like, you can't make it up. There's been so many people who has made videos a day showing their skies, even where I'm at, okay? Chemtrails in the sky. You can't tell me that they are not manipulating the weather. And then so many chemtrails, by the way, means if it really is bad, it's because they made it bad. Y'all remember what happened in Dubai, right? With the cloud seeding. Do y'all remember that? And all the rain went crazy and it flooded heavily. I feel like we're about to have a crazy winter storm in some places because that's what they're doing. They're cloud seeding, they're manipulating the sky, they're manipulating the weather, and they have been doing this for so long. When are people going to wake up? When are people going to wake up? So don't be surprised if this winter storm is like no other, like they said. Don't be surprised. Because how ironic is it that chemtrails are in the sky? How ironic.
Do you know that there's a government agency that tracks Santa? It's crazy. NORAD, they observe something that is actually taking place on the North Pole.
What?
Like an anomaly happens. Apparently this happens every single year around Christmas, and their first sighting of it apparently was in 1955. In 1955, Sears printed out a call this number to see where Santa is, and they accidentally put on NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, but they accidentally put their phone number on it. Then they just so happened to start getting called by a bunch of like little kids.
Yeah.
And then so the commander at the time was like, yeah, we're tracking Santa. They have in documentation that there was something happening on the North Pole.
Weird.
This thing was moving, but it was too slow to be a plane or a missile, and it would just make erratic movements. So they're tracking it, and they're like starting to come up with a cover story, and all of a sudden they started getting phone calls from all of these kids.
Yeah.
Santa Claus, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And they still do it to this day.
It was like, okay, actually, let's take advantage of this and let's create
Yeah.
something that does track Santa.
Yeah.
But it is tracking Santa.
I was just
And
saying, like,
UFOs.
Think about it, Santa's just like an IFO. He's like an identified flying object.
So for those of you who are unaware, Lady Gaga released a song called Judas. And this is not to be mistaken for any old name Judas. No, she's referring to the Judas of the Bible that betrayed Jesus Christ. In this song, Lady Gaga says she's in love with Judas, the disciple that betrayed Jesus Christ. She also says in the same song that she is beyond repentance according to the biblical standard. So I wonder what kind of things she would have had to done to be beyond repentance. She also claims in the same exact song that Judas is the demon that she clings to. So the demon that entered into Judas was Satan himself. And Lady Gaga is saying that the demon of Judas is the demon that she clings to. I wonder what Lady Gaga is trying to tell the world. Maybe she's saying that just like Judas, she has betrayed Jesus. She has betrayed the salvation that he came to the earth to give. She's betrayed it for the same reason that Judas has betrayed it, and that's for money, fame, and fortune. Lady Gaga is one of the biggest names, biggest entertainers, biggest singers in the last decade or more. And she is literally letting us know how she got there. For anybody who believes these words from Lady Gaga and this song that she released is merely for entertainment, and she doesn't mean exactly what she's saying, let's not forget who Lady Gaga hangs out with and rubs shoulders with. The spirit-cooking, occultist, satanic witch of Hollywood herself, Marina Abramovich. Here's Lady Gaga herself hanging out with who? Marina Abramovich. They just look like the best of pals. I wonder what they're doing hanging out. Oh, that's what they're doing. Partaking in a satanic, demonic ritual.
I've genuinely never met a person in my life that said, yo, bro, please turn this Lady Gaga on. I need to listen to it. So, you know, if you're one of those people, you might need to rethink your decision.
Anyone else notice that time has been speeding up? Like just the other day, I didn't even realize that it was Christmas in a couple days, because to me, it still feels like it's October. And over the past, I would say 6 to 7 years, time has been moving really, really fast. And I know people say as you get older that you experience time differently, but this just doesn't seem right. Like even older people are saying like time seems like it's moving faster than it did before. So the question is, what is going on? Like what is happening that we are experiencing time differently? Now, there's a story I heard about something called a time slip. It's where you can't account for periods of time or time moves differently. There was this man named Jacob. Jacob said that him and his friends, they went camping this one weekend in the Pacific Northwest. And he said they had set up their campsite and they had made this very large fire. And him and 2 other friends, they decided to go into town to get some supplies. So they leave their other friends around the campsite. So they get in the vehicle and they drive into town and they stop off at this general store. And they get some supplies and they get back in the truck. But when they get back to the campsite, they're shocked to see that this very huge fire that they built is just now coals. It is burnt down to the ground. And they said, you know what, we couldn't have been gone that long. Like, how did the fire burn out so fast? Well, the other weird thing is that all of their friends were gone from the campsite. So they get out of the car and they start looking for their friends, yelling their names. And then finally they hear them and they find them. And their friends are like, oh my goodness, like we were wondering what happened to you, because like you guys have been gone all night long. And they said, no, you know, we've only been gone for 45 minutes. And for some reason, that 45-minute trip to the grocery store was like several hours. And they could not figure out what had happened in that time from them going to the grocery store and coming back to the campsite.
Why do some people say Michael Jackson may still be alive? A mysterious man appeared 3 months after his death, speaking with a similar voice and possessing facial features that astonishingly overlap with Michael's. This mysterious man is named David Rothenberg. He claims to have been blessed by Michael since childhood and that the two were very close friends. When he looks into the camera, his eyes are filled with uncontrollable tension. Many firmly believe that Michael is still alive today, living under a different identity. This is a bizarre video after Michael's death, where a familiar figure emerges from an ambulance with long hair draped over his head, and he turns out to be the same person who transported Michael's body that day. It is well known that when a world superstar passes away, their coffin is almost always open for the public to bid farewell. However, Michael's coffin remained closed throughout. Family members explained that his face had suffered severe damage and they did not want others to see it. But from photos leaked by a media outlet, it can be seen that Michael's face was not damaged. Many suspect that there may have been no one inside the coffin at all. Michael Jackson is highly likely to have faked his death, just like his father-in-law Elvis.
The clip you just watched was her last show before she was found in her home. They say she accidentally drowned, but a lot of people still don't know that's not really what happened. She was used as a sacrifice. 4 people saw the real scene, and they all say that on the night of February 11th, 2012, Whitney was found in the bathtub of room 434 at the Beverly Hilton. But more importantly, they all claimed it didn't look like a normal accident at all. They saw the room before the police arrived. They said the lights were off, candles were placed all over the carpet in a circle, forming a strange symbol, and on top of that, the mirror nearby was covered with a black cloth. But the worst part is what they heard just hours before her death. She was reportedly screaming, saying, "They came for me. They want to steal my voice." Hotel staff also said they heard a second voice in the bathroom, deeper, as if someone was whispering next to Whitney. But the strangest part of this story is that 2 years later, the same nightmare happened again. Her daughter, Bobby Christina, was also found unconscious in a bathtub. The entire scene was identical, as if it was intentional. There's a disturbing video that shows both scenes side by side, clearly suggesting that all of this was staged. If you want to see it, click share, then more, and then photos.
Okay, I did not know about the thing with her daughter, but if that is true, that is absolutely crazy. There's clearly some sort of pattern going on here. The same incident happened twice, and everyone's just like, oh, what a tragedy.
So not only was the first arrest made in the David Celeste case last night, but the grand jury is all pushing for David to be the one who's arrested in this case. I will roll the clip confirming that for you guys right now, but basically Neo Langston, David's longtime close friend, was arrested last night on an outstanding warrant in Helen, Montana, hiding away at a home that he does not live at for failing to appear in court as a witness. Yes, guys, why would he hide from court? He wasn't even gonna be charged with anything. He was just a witness who they wanted to hear from. Well, the only reason he would hide is because there's a huge conflict of interest. He's David's best friend. He saw David commit a very harsh crime. He didn't want to blatantly rat out his friend in front of everybody. I mean, try to think of anything more logical there, but it looks like David 100% did this now. Here's the clip with an update from TMZ and other sources. Comment your thoughts, guys. This is not looking good for David. This is going to go down in history. I'm talking the most streamed Netflix documentary of all time once this all unfolds. What do you guys think? Did Neo do it? Did David do it? Did his manager do it? Comment. We'll see y'all in the next one. Here's the clip.
Singer David is likely to face murder charges in the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Sources tell TMZ a grand jury hearing the case is expected to vote on an indictment, and prosecutors do believe David was involved in the teenager's death.
A lot is going on out here, guys. People are saying all the airports in Caribbean countries are being shut down. I just seen a video. They're saying that there's thousands of people that can't get home, guys. This is what I heard. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm home, like I said. But I seen another video with some lady in Puerto Rico that says that she can't get home because the airports are shut down. Now, people are also saying this has something to do with Venezuela that I know nothing about, guys. I don't know what's going on with that situation. And if you want to know, go look it up. But my opinion on this, I wouldn't be traveling around this time of the year, guys. Remember, guys, get ready. Listen, there's a lot going on in the world. And right now, people need to slow down on the traveling and just stay home with their family. I heard nothing is flying in those Caribbean countries and nothing is flying out of those Caribbean countries. People are saying if you rebook something that it gets canceled automatically, guys. Something is going on out here and I don't know what's going on out here. That's why I'm asking you. People are saying they're stuck. I wouldn't know if they're stuck or not, guys. Like I said, I'm home. But like I said, guys, I hope everybody gets home safe. And right now may not be the best time to be traveling anywhere because you never know what can happen. And of course, guys, entertainment purposes only. I'm just letting you know what's going on out here. Let me know if you know anything about this or you have family that's in a Caribbean country that's trying to get back that can't get back. I'm out.
Probably one of the biggest lies that we have all been told is that the Earth is a globe and we are spinning millions of miles through space. We've also been told that all of the land on our modern day maps is all there is, but that's just not the case. Today, we're going to get into flat Earth, the firmament, UFOs, Atlantis, the Antarctic Treaty, NASA, and Operation High Jump. Everybody meet Admiral Richard Byrd. Now, he went on a 6-month expedition to Antarctica for the government called Operation High Jump. Now, when you look up this expedition, the government will tell you that the main objective was just to establish a military base in Antarctica. But we all know that they lie to us. So when you dig deeper, you actually find out that they didn't just want to establish a base in Antarctica. They wanted to take over the technology that was in Antarctica. Byrd's expedition didn't just encounter UFOs. He discovered land beyond the ice wall, proving that we have all been lied to. But it doesn't stop there. He actually flew into an entire underground crystal city.
Made that first discovery flight, and I must say that Admiral Byrd, our guest tonight, is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this Earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
This is a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Now, Bird.
Yeah, I think as a society we're cooked. This dude said he flew into a hole and met aliens, and everyone's just like, people just like, nah, he's crazy, bro. Why would he have, like, our own government sent him in there to do that? And y'all are just like, nah, there's nothing, bro. Like,
a 20-year-old kid stole $200 million from a crypto scam, and he lost it the next day.
What would he do?
Have you heard of Malone Lamb?
Nah.
The biggest cases going on, and he got caught like a week ago. So his plan, right, was him and a couple other dudes would call a credit union.
Yeah.
So they would call and scam and be like, oh, we're Google support. Your credit union has been hacked.
I hate those, bro.
Boom. He would hang up. So he would call back as Gemini support.
Yeah.
So that's the big crypto exchange, right? And he would be like, oh, we need you to send all your Bitcoin into this wallet. That wallet compromised. That's his. So he manipulated into changing their...
Before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys. Their phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately.
Two-factor, boom, sent all the money. They hit the biggest lick on one guy for 4,000 Bitcoin. 4,000 Bitcoin is $200 million. That's low-key, this is why I don't think he knew that he was gonna get caught.
Why?
He recorded his whole scam. You wanna see it?
So he vlogged it
on Discord.
That's kind of crazy.
Look, listen.
Damn.
Crazy.
So he had all his homies in the Discord like, yo, look at this.
Yeah, look at this. And all mans were recording because they saw the...
Was it just him or did he have like a whole team around him?
Two mans, the same age, yeah.
Holy shit. Just now, in China, they're putting up blue tarps all over the roofs of their houses.
Wait,
guess why? So,
Blue tarps.
Blue tarps, bro. All over all their houses, they're building it right now. They know something is gonna happen.
Is it gonna be like a big just storm?
Yo, remember Maui? Oh, you remember the theory?
Yeah.
How it was a laser that caused the fire, but only the stuff that were blue color, the blue colored cars, the blue colored houses were not burnt. Check this video out.
No.
In China right now, so many people. Let me show you the video.
They're strategic for that. Yo, China's always
smart
onto it.
Yo, check this out. Look.
China knows
something the rest of the world does not know. Look, so they had the blue tarps and just putting it all over the houses. Everywhere. On the roofs. Everywhere. Almost, yo, I want to say 80% of the houses are starting to do it.
Holy smokes.
But think about that. Think about that though. Yeah. Imagine it really does happen and then the houses that are covered in blue don't get touched because that's literally what happened in Maui.
Yeah, that's true.
But what's scarier, I think the most scary, is how do they know to do that? Or
how do they know it's blue specifically?
Archaeologists not only just found, but also opened and discovered a hidden cave chamber that's been sealed for over 40,000 years, and you are not going to believe what they just found inside of it. So these archaeologists were just excavating a known cave system whenever they broke into a hidden chamber that's been completely sealed off by nature for around 40,000 years. This hidden cave chamber was just literally untouched since the Neanderthal times. To put this entire time frame into perspective for you so you can understand how big of a deal this is, the room was sealed off before cities, before writing, before recorded history, and before the pyramids. They were able to find animal bones from extinct ecosystems, including evidence of predators like the hyenas and the lynx. They were even able to find a large shell that came from the ocean that had to be carried to the cave by Neanderthals themselves, because how else would it get there? This immediately told all of the scientists that were in the cave discovering all of this stuff that it was not just random. The Neanderthals were actually using this space. This place is now officially believed to be one of the last places that the Neanderthals ever lived before they completely vanished off the planet. So they're saying that this chamber might actually preserve what the world looked like during their final years on Earth. Hey, this is obviously insane. Researchers are already starting to say that this could change how we understand the Neanderthals, because once again, it is now proving in history that they were not just cave people.
So people have just realised why they get that falling sensation before falling asleep. You're drifting off to sleep, your body relaxes, and bang, you suddenly feel yourself falling through the bed and waking straight up. The whole body jolts awake and it's a very weird feeling. You're like, whoa, the hell just happened there? I wasn't even dreaming. This is called a hypnic jerk, and it happens because your brain is misreading your body. When you fall asleep, your muscles relax. That's just kind of how it works. But sometimes the brain isn't the smartest guy in the room and can misread the signals and think, oh, I'm not just relaxed, I'm actually falling out of the damn sky. So it literally jolts your whole body awake as a basically safety mechanism to keep you alive. Interestingly enough, it's your primal caveman instincts kicking in, the same reflexes that would have kept you from, getting eaten by a tiger in the middle of the night.
Did you know the US government secretly stole the bodies of deceased children and most parents never knew? During the Cold War, the US was terrified of nuclear fallout, so they launched a classified program called Project Sunshine. And its goals wasn't to study bombs, it was to study human bodies, specifically bones. Scientists believe children absorb radioactive fallout faster than adults. So without public consent, government agents began collecting body parts from hospitals, from morgues, from overseas, everywhere. And in many cases, parents were told cremated, but the bones had been removed. Jawbones, ribs, spines. Thousands of samples were secretly shipped to labs around the world to measure radiation level. And the public didn't find out until the 1990s when documents were declassified. Governments apologized, but no one went to prison. And the official explanation was this: we believed it was necessary for national security, they said. Which leaves one question no one likes to answer. If they were willing to do this in secret, what else was considered necessary? As always, let me know what you think in the comments. Stay weird.
The government thinks they're so slick. They're like, yeah, let's do one of the most vile things to humanity, and then we're gonna be like, let's name it Project Sunshine. Like, yeah, nobody's ever gonna guess what Project Sunshine means, right? Like, oh yeah, they're probably just investigating the sun. Wow, bro.
So apparently the Mahdi is here. He's on Earth. He has revealed himself. And apparently this Mahdi is making his way to Africa to proclaim who he is and what he's doing and what is to come. There's a video surfacing I've seen it on TikTok several different times already, about the Mahdi, who is essentially like the Islamic savior or the Islamic Messiah that they have been waiting on for quite some time and is prophesied to come. Now, we as Christians know that that person will probably be the Antichrist. The Jews will look at him as the Messiah, although the Messiah has already came. Jesus already came 2,000 years ago. They did not receive him, but they will receive this man who will be the Superman of the world. And I truly believe that the world is so connected today, and it's only connected because by the time of the end, everything has to align with one another. Remember, 50 years ago, 20 years ago, it felt like every single country had their own thing going on. Everybody was doing it. But now every single place in the world, it seems like the world is one big country. Remember, everything has to come together in order for this one world leader to come onto the world stage. And apparently he is here. He has already made his way throughout the Middle East. And I remember reading articles last year saying that the Mahdi has revealed himself, and they're keeping it as a secret until he is ready to be shown and revealed. And so this is very strange. I'm not sure how true this is, but I have been seeing many videos about the Mahdi being here, the Imam Mahdi being here. And if it is so, then we are in for a rude awakening, especially when you factor in the Pope's prophecy.
This is one of the strangest deaths involving the US government that almost nobody talks about. Jack Wheeler was a former White House official, a Pentagon insider, and a man with access to classified defense programs. Then in December 2010, he vanished. But security cameras caught Jack wandering the streets of Delaware, confused, disoriented, throwing away his phone, trying to break into random buildings. Days later, his found in a landfill. But there were no signs of a struggle, no robbery, no clear explanation for how a man with his background ends up in a landfill. They try to say it was an accident, a mental health episode, wrong place, wrong time. But here's what makes people uneasy. Jack had recently told friends he was afraid. He believed someone was watching him, and some of his personal files were never recovered. So the question isn't just how Jack Wheeler died. What did he know, and who did he tell? Stay weird.
Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're going to be on to the next one. Thank you.